That's so fantastic.
I love that.
Dr. Eli Live is absolutely the best person that you could ever ask relationship questions to. He's a marriage and family therapist for University of Louisville at the Kent School of Social Work and president-elect of the Kentucky Association for Marriage and Family Therapy. So quite a bit of experience goes into his answers, and welcome this morning.
It's good to be back, guys. I was sick last week, so I missed you. And this is it for us.
This is it for us.
That's very sad.
How long have you two been together?
Becca, since I started on the show about 14 months ago.
Isn't that incredible?
Has it been that long?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I'm going to have separation anxiety.
We'll coach you through it.
Okay, perfect.
After we talk about our scheduled topic for today, which is relationships and money, we will talk about grief and loss.
You know, guys, more than anything else, you know, couples fight about money. I get asked that all the time. And top three things in this order: money, sex, division of household labor. But couples, even people that have it, money, sometimes more money, more problems, as we know.
Yes, that's what I always think
But even couples that have it fight about money. So we got some tips how to deal around money, how to have a dialogue around finances with your partner. And I always tell people this because I'm by no means a financial expert, but there are some simple guidelines that you can follow to make that dialogue easier with your partner, whether married, cohabitating, what have you.
You know,
do you suggest merging?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Of the accounts or keeping your own?
First tip, it depends when you come in. Sometimes marriage and family therapists work with couples and they're starting out very young, in their early 20s, so they don't have anything. So the general rule, you know, those type of couples generally put everything in the same pot. Versus if you've been married or you've been married before, you're entering a relationship with a significant amount of assets or more than your partner. Then it is sometimes common to not put everything at the same time.
Okay.
So there's no one rule of thumb other than that's a dialogue you got to have. And you should know what your partner has. Whether you maintain separate checking accounts and you have a joint account, you should still know what your partner has.
Okay.
Another tip is you have to talk about debt and risk tolerance. So what I mean by that, we form our ideas about money based on what we grew up with, our family of origin.
Right.
So if you come from a family where everybody was a saver, and you marry someone or in a relationship with somebody that likes to spend it as soon as they get it, that's going to cause a problem.
It does.
You might be having great sex, you might be aligned on all this other stuff, but your ideas around money are completely different. Another example is if you like to make risky investments. You're pushing some high-risk stocks, and your partner is used to, you know, not doing that. Or when they get a credit card bill, they pay it off right away.
Exactly.
Versus you're okay extending your bills out. That's going to be an issue if you don't talk about you know, how you're going to navigate those differences. And again, they're predictable differences. We all have them.
You cover that a lot in your pre-marriage counseling or your marriage and family therapy. And those are things that a lot of the churches are even bringing up as pre-marriage therapy.
You know, marriage and family therapists look for things in a preventative, predictive way.
Exactly.
So money, it's always going to be an issue. It's always going to be there. It doesn't mean your way is right or your partner's way is wrong. But there's differences. You got to navigate them early on. And another thing couples commonly do is, let's say they had a fight.
Yeah.
And you're upset at your partner, so you go out and make a nice big purchase just to kind of shove it to them.
What makes you feel better than going shopping?
Right.
That's true.
The spite purchase. And we find out that never works.
Yes.
Because the partner finds out about it later, usually under less than perfect terms, and it can fuel a big fight. So what we want to do, again, in my marriage, we call it the $100 rule. Now, you can set it, depending on your own finances, you can set it higher or lower. The $100 rule states, basically, I'm not going to make a purchase, and I'm not talking about essentials like groceries or things like that. I'm talking about self-care kind of purchase.
Yeah, sure.
I've been known to spend quite a lot on music, and so I'm not going to go and blow more than $100 on music without calling up my wife and saying, hey, you know, I really want to do this, versus if my wife wanted to go to a spa day or something like that.
Wonderful idea.
It's a rule. You just want to check out with your partner, and that goes just the general rule of thumb. In healthy, committed relationships, most times people are really okay with you taking care of yourself. They just want to be cued in. They just want to know. So you might be the person in the relationship that makes most of the financial purchases. You pay most of the bills. That's great. But at any time, another one of those tips is your partner should be able to know what you have. They should know how to pay the bills. They should know how to go online, check the statements. They should know what the spending limit is.
Yeah, so don't give everything up.
Don't give everything up. And parts should be interchangeable. Even if somebody has more of a knack for it than their other partner, it should be able to go back and forth pretty easily.
Well, and it's really important in lifetime relationships like my parents had, and maybe your parents had. My dad did everything for my mother, and when he passed away, she had no idea what to do.
Yeah.
So good thing I was was listening when he was telling me what to do, because then I had to teach her. So it's a very interesting dynamic.
Exactly. You do not want to be the keeper of the knowledge, the sole keeper of knowledge. You want to share that with your partner, and also your partner doesn't want any surprises. I mean, the beautiful thing about the internet is it's so great. You can log on. In 5 minutes, you should be able to show your partner everything you have, whether that be debt, assets, investments. And if you can't, to me, that shows you there's some less than transparency in the relationship.
Red flag.
Hiding something.
Exactly.
Red flag. Well, we have a mailbag that's actually tying very nicely into what we're talking about today. It's from Lisa in Louisville. Lisa says, my fiance and I are fighting over money. We make approximately the same amount, but he seems to have ideas on how to invest it without even consulting me. Because he took some finance classes in college, he thinks he's an authority. How can I get him to include me in the process?
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah. Lisa, you are exactly right. You deserve kind of to know what's going on. And the way to kind of approach your husband is not with a hard, hardened approach. It's more of a soft wanting to be included. So, you know, I feel left out when you make these decisions, because I can contribute just as much as you do to the relationship, and I would like to be, consulted. Not that I don't trust you. It's just that this is our money. I bring in just as much as you do, and we need to figure out a way to talk about this together.
There you go. Last question of the day. How do all of us here at WBKI cope with the grief and loss of losing our team leader, our institutional knowledge, Becca?
That's right.
To the airways.
Guys.
What do we do?
You're already practicing it.
That's right, yeah.
Well, I think this is kind of an ambiguous loss, and the fact Becca is still going to be here, so she's not dying or anything like that.
Good thing. Thank you.
But this loss is it's always better when somebody's leaving under good terms,
Yes.
which Becca is.
Yes.
Fulfilling a dream, which she's always wanted to do, go into the airline industry. So it's we honor the dream, but we also acknowledge it's like a both and. We can also be sad that she's leaving, celebrate her time here, but be happy she's going to something bigger and better, fulfilling a dream.
And
also,
thank you for being here.
Sure.
Come back next Monday and help me through the first day. Dr. Eli Karam live from the Kent School of Social Work.